Hello and welcome back. Today we're going to fix what I unfixed a couple of weeks ago. We went over my 2012 S12 Coastline Seagull guitar and gave it the spring cleanup. I didn't adjust the truss rod at the time because I had it set fairly low. With carpal tunnel, I set my strings as low as possible, and finger picking is how I play this thing, so you can usually go a little lower with that if you're not strumming to make the oscillation of the strings too high to create buzzing, but I have created buzzing. So we're going to go over it and probably just do a truss rod adjustment today. So first off, let's grab the old measuring box and test out the action at the 12th. What I have here, the fat E is about 1.5 to 1.25, so that is just a little too low. And at the high E, I am at 1.25, so it is too low. What we found is that after I did the restring and cleanup last week, I put the saddle in backwards. So it took a little bit. I thought, okay, I'm getting buzzing. Maybe I just have to because we had the strings off for a while, the guitar is going to settle a bit. I thought maybe that it had just settled, and when we restrung it, we had to wait for the neck to readjust to the pressure that it was going to be feeling. Well, no, that's not the way it went. So first off, I found was that the nut was reversed, and I thought, okay, that explains why I'm getting the buzzing down in the high E. So I turned it around, and the buzzing went away a little bit. There's still a bit here when you really tag it. But what I noticed is up here, the low E or high E, whichever way you want to go, when you push down on the second fret, the closest string gives you the spot, but the lowest is going high. So what's happening is when I'm pushing on this string here, the outer string is contacting the next fret up. Instead of contacting this one, it's contacting this one. So if I push it right near the fret, it's a little bit high, but when you go down to this side of the same fret, yeah, it's not touching this fret at all, or it's touching both this and this fret. So we're going to take a look first off down and make sure that the frets are fairly level. I don't want to get into a fretting filing today. I'm hoping that all I have to do is just loosen the truss rod a bit, and that will, when you loosen the truss rod, the head comes up. So hopefully that will create enough of a gap here that the buzzing will go away. So just a small one today. Now, when you are loosening the fret rod, if you're tightening the fret rod, loosen all the strings. Make sure you get all of them off there. No pressure on it at all. Because what you're doing is trying to pull down on the headstock, which is going to create a lot more pressure on the strings, and you're going to be working against your truss rod. So you're just going to take a chance at damaging it. Now when you're loosening it, this comes up, the string tension goes down. So you don't really have to, but at the same time, with lots of pressure on here, you're not going to have much room to get your Allen key in there. So we are going to loosen off the strings anyways. So we're going to loosen off the strings, loosen the truss rod about a quarter turn, maybe a half turn, just because it's so low here, and then bring it back up to tune, see just what the action is at that point, because 1.5 and 1.25 is just way too low. Okay, so with that, let's get the winder. Now, sometimes if I'm really loosening off all the strings a lot, I will get the capo out and put it on up here just to keep the tension between the top nut and the spindles from loosening off and the windings bundling. But we don't really have to do that so much. And actually, if we can also just loosen the two center strings here, because all we're wanting to do is create a little more gap in there. But when you do that, if you loosen off these two strings, you're going to be putting a lot more tension on your skinniest strings up here. We don't want to do that because we don't want to take a chance at snapping them. They're brand new strings I just put on about a week ago. So we're going to loosen off all the strings. When we do that, we start with the skinniest strings first. That way we don't take a chance at breaking them. If you loosen off these more robust strings down here, you're going to be putting a lot of pressure on these right away. We don't want to do that, so we're just going to loosen off the skinny strings first and work our way down. And with that, I'll be right back. So now we have the strings loosened off. We're going to spread the two center strings here. How about we do this? So now we've got the strings loosened off. We're going to spread the center two, get the proper sized Allen wrench. I won't tell you what size it is because you should have to go find out for yourself on your own guitar. That way nobody makes any bad decisions. Even here, I should be going to look for a closer one. Because mine is a little bit loose, but we're loosening, so it shouldn't be a problem that way. Okay, so what we're going to do is loosen, always thinking twice because I'm left-handed. Yep. So we want to loosen it off. Okay, and it is tight. It's not wanting to move. So we're going to get a little more leverage here and now what you usually want to do is just about 1/8 of a turn and then bring it back up to tune and see what kind of an adjustment you made. But as I say, we were 1.25 millimeters here and 1.5 up here, so that is just way too much. So I gave it 2 twists, and then what we do, bring it back up to tune and see how we did. And when you're retightening the strings, make sure that you push down on these here details, because we want the windings to keep going down into the guitar. So when you're tuning a 12-string guitar, what you want to do is for this here low E, get it in tune. For the high E, what you want to do is do the harmonic at the 6th. And that is what you want. first get your old broken tuner that works better than your good new tuner. Of course, Natch. Come on. Test it against your old S6. Just sometimes just doesn't. Aha. Let's make sure we get good contact with the headstock. You can just be a little close with this part, because once we get all these tuned up, you're gonna have to go back and start tuning over again. So next one up. To get the octave one. That's a little high, but as I say, we're going to have to do this a couple times over. Octave, sixth. Right on. Okay, so then this is the one, the third string or the fourth string up, third from this end, fourth from this end. This is going to be the highest. That's the most tension you're going to have on any of your strings. That's why this one always breaks when you're doing 12 string. Either way, as I say, we're just getting it close the first time. It'll be easier to do it this way. Too far, but oh well. So bring it up into rough tune and then start grabbing the strings and reefing on them, because we want them to settle the way they were before. All these spindles up here will have loosened off a bit, so reefing on them will get them in set. Okay, here we go again. The other thing is, when you're doing the final tuning, you're going to want it in playing position. tune it up, give him another wiggle. It'll take 4, 5, 6, 7 times to do this and get it into tune where it's going to stay. The ringing of a 12 string. didn't care. What happened to me? And I didn't care. For you. We will zigzag away through the boredom and pain, occasionally glancing up through the rain, wondering which of the both is to blame. Watching for pigs on the wing. Okay, so I've played it for a little while, hoping to get the strings all figured out, and Big E 175 150 and 1.5 to 1.75 millimeters, high E about 150 125. That's still pretty low, but that's where I want it. Thanks for watching. Please share, like, subscribe, leave a comment below, and we'll see you next time. Bye now.